WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Joey Barnes is off. An elderly Columbus woman whose body was found after firefighters responded to a call has been identified. Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant identified her as 81-year-old Daisy Smith. Firefighters responded to the house on 16th Street Sunday morning. Someone else in the home was apparently cooking, and smoke from hot grease on the stove filled the house. No word on what caused Smith's death. Merchant says he is awaiting a toxicology report. The incident remains under investigation. Meanwhile, a Houston home is destroyed in a weekend fire, and crews are still investigating how it started. Houston firefighters were called to this house on Jamison Street about 4:15 Sunday morning. No one was home at the time of the fire. The home looks to be a total loss. Investigators say it's still unclear exactly what started the blaze. A jury has been selected in the trial of a man charged with burning a 19-year-old Mississippi woman to death. Nearly 3 years ago, 29-year-old Quentin Tellis pled guilty, or rather not guilty, to murder in the death of Jessica Chambers. She was on fire when she was found next to her burning car along a back road in Cortland, Mississippi in December of 2014. Chambers died hours later at a hospital. The trial jury was selected in Pike County in southwest Mississippi because of pretrial publicity in Panola County. The jury is being transported 200 miles north to Batesville, where they will be sequestered throughout the trial. It will begin tomorrow. Monroe County deputies say a Verona couple is wanted in connection with a couple of thefts in the county. Jamie Pace and Gina Smith is who deputies say allegedly stole auto parts from a business and from tractor parts from Monroe County residents. The two are wanted on grand larceny. Deputies say the two have been staying in the Verona-Palmetto Road area of Lee County. If you have any information, contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Department at 662-369-2468. Starkville police are still on the lookout today for a black Camaro that was involved in a hit and run Saturday evening. That accident happened at the intersection of Reed Road and Westside Drive. Residents said off camera that people are often speeding down the road. The two juveniles who were hit were released from the hospital with no serious injuries. If you have any information on this case, call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers or the Starkville Police Department. Officers with the Manatee Police Department are taking steps to make sure employees of area businesses are safe when they're making bank deposits. In June, the town was shocked when 64-year-old Judy Gwynn, a bank teller at the Merchants and Farmers Bank, was shot and killed by a female suspect during an attempted bank robbery. In the wake of that tragedy, Manatee Police Chief Mark Roberts has hired several part-time officers and is asking businesses to let the department know when bank drops are made. Chief Roberts says officers will escort employees to the bank for those deposits. The chief says it's just one way to help deter criminals and to keep the public safe.
We do need notification of that because some businesses have 3 a day and some only have 1, and we don't really know what time. But if they would notify us, that'd be a great help, especially with holiday season is fixing to start up with Thanksgiving shopping, Christmas shopping. So, and that's normally when, unfortunately, predators come out and start to prey.
Now, the chief is asking business owners or managers to call the main dispatch in Fulton, and they will notify police when escorts are needed. Right now, there are 3 full-time and 8 part-time officers in Manatee. We'll turn things over now to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson to get a first look at our forecast on this Monday.
Right now, a mix of clouds and sunshine, more clouds than anything else. We have a fairly overcast sky in let's see, that is Vernon, Alabama, Durham's Pharmacy. Just a few light blips showing up on our live Doppler radar. We had some heavier downpours earlier. A lot of that has gone by the wayside. Can't rule out a little bit more rain this evening, but as you can see right there, not a lot going on. Upper 70s and low 80s, very humid. Temperatures will be slow to fall this evening, so we're going to go with mainly 70s here. Mid 70s by 11 o'clock and only in the 70s tonight. If you missed out on the rain today, you may see some tomorrow. More in just a few minutes.
It has been 2 years since the 2% tourism tax passed in Winona. It went into effect last December and has helped the town spruce up. Our Jory Talley joins us in the studio now with more on how they're using the money.
So far within the past year, the tourism tax has brought in a couple of $100,000. The money comes from tourists traveling into town and paying an extra 2% on prepared food. The extra 2% tourism tax is already adding up for the city.
I think the citizens are for it, and it's really turned out good. We anticipate when we have a full year of revenue, we'll have over $200,000 additional monies. So that's a lot of things that we can do with it.
One of those things is to improve the city's baseball complex. Winona took it over 15 years ago, and the new tourism money will let them make upgrades.
There's a number of things we've already done out at the park. We have done a lot of concrete work to make it look better rather than have dirt and gravel. We have purchased picnic tables, new garbage cans, decorative garbage cans. The difference in the contrast from there to here, you can see.
The tourism dollars have also brought in canopies and flower gardens to the ballpark. Mayor Jerry Flowers says it's all to make the park look better, with hopes of attracting more tournaments to the area and becoming a mini Snowden Grove, which is a well-known baseball park in South Haven.
People come in, they're going to buy food, they're going to eat at the restaurants, they're going to come downtown to Special Treasures, they're going to come downtown to the Crow's Nest and the different places, and it really brings in a lot of revenue. They can tell you that. The Sonic out at the interstate, he realized how much revenue that the tournaments brought in.
Not every dollar is going towards the diamonds. Some are making their way downtown.
Also very excited that the Board of Aldermen agreed to a plan to put down antique-ish signs, stop signs, street signs, coming in downtown, and we will hopefully expand that through the years to include all of Winona.
Mayor Flowers believes people outside of Winona traveling highways 82 and 55 make up 65 to 70% of the revenue from the tourism tax.
Well, meanwhile, town leaders there in Winona are hoping that businesses and individuals will help with an upcoming beautification project. The city is preparing for a week-long citywide cleanup. They're partnering with the police department for the project.
We need as many people as possible to do it, and of course we've got places in town there's worse. We've got some grass growing over the curbs and stuff like that, and we want to try to get people to kind of take care of that, and of course we got to get people educated.
During the week, the goal is for people to pick up their trash in their yards and neighborhoods, and then on Saturday, the 21st, aldermen will pick teams to help clean up their wards, and they'll weigh in their collected trash for a trophy to be displayed at City Hall. Well, one city in our region is getting a big honor later this month for steps it has taken to promote health and wellness. Manatee was named a winner of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi Foundation's Healthy Hometown Award. The town was named one of 3 runners-up and will get a $25,000 grant. The money will help fund a number of improvements to the park, including a new farmers market and a new splash pad. Manatee's mayor says the emphasis on healthy living began years ago with the adoption of a smoking ordinance.
We adopted some more policies. We adopted a wellness policy for our employees. They get to work out and exercise during work hours. We developed a helmet policy, safety policy for bikes for children in our town. We also, for future development, we're going to look at adding a sidewalk plan to future developments for safety and for health.
A community-wide celebration is set for October 21st at Manatee City Park with the $25,000 check presentation.
It's nearing a month away from the big election on November 7th for Oktibbeha County, but are residents registered to vote for it? I'm Parker King, and I'll have that story.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Andrea Self.
Welcome back. The deadline for Oktibbeha County residents to register to vote in the November 7th election has passed. The number of registered voters is around what has been the last few years, but it's the turnout that's been low. Our Parker King talks with county party members and elected leaders about the importance of voting for the issues that are coming up. He joins us in the studio with more on that.
In recent local elections, Oktibbeha County has some of the lowest voter turnouts in Mississippi, producing less than half of their registered voters. With the variety of issues coming up in the November 7th elections, leaders emphasize voters should make their way to the polls now more than ever.
It's a right given to American citizens, voting.
It's a basic part of being a good citizen.
And a big vote is less than a month away. In Oktibbeha County, the turnout has been consistently low for local elections. Part of that due to having a university.
You're seeing Mississippi State University that's bringing in a good many registrations, probably anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 at a time. They vote in the presidential election, and they don't usually participate in local races.
Come November 7th, county officials will see if those numbers will rise. The list of issues to be voted on includes circuit and chancery clerk positions, a district constable, the potential sale of the OCH Regional Hospital, and a position that hasn't been open in decades.
Representative Tyrone Ellis has left an important legacy. Those are going to be big shoes to fill, and it's important to elect a person who will adequately fill those shoes and even surpass what he did during his 38 years in the State House of Representatives.
My goodness, we haven't had that position open in so long, so it's very important that your voice is heard about that representative that's going down to Jackson to represent you.
With the variety of issues on the ballot, the hope is that voters understand the importance of voting in local government.
We need to voice our concerns about government. We need to elect people who are going to represent what we want in good government. So it's important to vote.
I don't think people realize what one vote can do and how much it can make a difference in an election.
Even if residents in Oktibbeha County missed that deadline this past Saturday, they are still encouraged to register. Should any of those elections go to a runoff, there will be another opportunity to vote.
Look at this great sunset developing in Tupelo right now. A little bit of sunshine, some good-looking clouds right there. Looking ahead, more rain chances tomorrow. Probably the best chance this week. We are sunny and dry. Full forecast is next.
Your First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Overcast conditions today, some showers, even a few thunder showers. This is our Alpha Insurance time lapse from downtown Columbus as we've gone throughout the course of our Monday afternoon. And you can see right now, not a lot of moisture in our area. We really got rid of that. But we did see some downpours earlier today in and around Tupelo, anywhere between about 1/3 of an inch and maybe over 2 inches of rain in that area. And down here towards French Camp, same story, a pretty good batch of downpours earlier today. But right now, pretty quiet. Deep tropical moisture keeping those showers and thunder showers going here in the deep south. Bigger storms out there erupting across Kansas. Those are severe. And snow is flying out there across the high plains, the Front Range of Colorado and New Mexico. Now, those strong storms in Kansas right now will likely shift east and northeast, and tomorrow probably staying just north of our area, north of Memphis. Now, we're too close for comfort again, so we'll be watching out for that. But at this point, some showers and storms possible tomorrow. We don't envision anything severe. We'll take any rain that we can get, right? And with the tropical air mass in place, at least there's some rainfall potential. Upper 70s and low 80s right now. It is warm. It is tropical behind this front. 50s, 40s, 35 degrees in Denver, Colorado. Wow, what a different season it is out there. 73 degrees as an average tonight. Pretty warm stuff. Probably setting new record temperatures for being the warmest night on record for this time of year. Pretty warm. Not a lot of moisture now, but there could be some additional rain showers late tonight. And here is our planning for Tuesday, mid-70s at 8 o'clock. Likely in the mid-80s in the course or during the course of the afternoon, and a chance for some of those showers and storms at any point on our Tuesday. Mid-80s will be our forecast. You can see with Futurecast this evening, probably overdoing it here. We don't really expect a lot, but later tonight into tomorrow, as this frontal boundary approaches, we'll see some showers and storms flare back up, and that front will then move on through. And by tomorrow night and Wednesday, dry air starts to come on back into the region, and it's actually going to look and feel pretty good around here. Dew point values will lower by the middle of the week. It's still going to be warm, upper 70s to low 80s, but our lows will get back down into the 50s. That's going to be a short-lived cool down because then we warm back up in the mid to upper 80s again for this upcoming weekend. And if you're looking for fall, maybe next week there could actually be a couple of days in a row with temperatures at or below average. How about that? There's your 7-day forecast.
Good evening, I'm Quentin Smith, and I'm here at J.L. King Park in Starkville, where Pee Wee League football practice is currently underway. Now, football is a fun sport that many people enjoy playing, but with the recent rise in the number of concussions the sport is causing, it's prompting many parents to decide whether or not they want their kids to continue playing the game. Coming up later tonight, I speak with parents and coaches in this football league to talk about things they're doing to help ensure player safety. I'll have that story coming up tonight on WCBI News at 9 and 10. But for now, reporting live in Starkville, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
It's your Coach's Corner Sports at 6 tonight. Bye-week preparation, different for every team, but Dan Mullen and MSU focused on the little things in the hopes of correcting the bigger issues that have transpired after 2 lopsided losses.
Offensively, when you're doing that, a lot of the reps now are, okay, how are we going to block? You know, these are how we're blocking against these plays. These are the routes we're going to run. These are the checks that we have in the game. And your game planning bye week allows you to take time and say, okay, well, we're not worried about how we're blocking this against that team. We get to really just worry about ourselves and our technique and our fundamentals.
I think it was great for us. You know, just kind of work on our own thing. I mean, we don't have a teammate. We don't have a team that we're playing against. You know, we don't have to stress to be. Have a perfect game plan in, more than just go out there, practice, work on yourself, work on little things that you need to work on as a position.
At Ole Miss, the Rebels eager to be back at Vaught-Hemingway for their SEC home opener in the 2017 season. Now snapping that 3-game losing streak, that's a focus, as Matt Luke hopes to keep it simple with what he's telling his team to focus on for Saturday.
Winning.
I guess more specifically, like...
I think building on the second half of the Auburn game, I feel like some of these young players are starting to grow up and starting to believe, and we just want to build on that. We just want to build on it, walk out there with confidence, and just building on the positives that I saw. And obviously the results were not what we wanted, but we have to build on those positives moving forward, and I think that's what we'll do this week.
At Alabama, Nick Saban still disappointed after that 8-point win at A&M last Saturday. He expects more from his top-ranked Tide going into this Saturday at home against Arkansas.
Even though, Texas A&M really played a good game, played hard, showed a lot of heart in the game. We played a pretty ordinary game for us. I don't think we really executed the way we'd like to, with the consistency that we'd like to, in the game. And I think that it's something that, as coaches, we take responsibility for, but also want to take responsibility for getting everybody to respond the right way so that we have a chance to improve.
So Bama will have that game 6:15 p.m. on ESPN. Ole Miss Vandy at 2:30, same time. We'll have Auburn LSU here on WCBI. MSU starts 11 a.m. against BYU coming up on Saturday. Now switching gears to the hardwood at Ole Miss, the Rebels quietly moving forward with a team that could surprise the SEC this season. Ada Kennedy doesn't mind his team is flying under the radar.
All the preseason mags, I haven't seen you guys as the publisher of any of them, but I haven't seen us any higher than 9th or 10th, which is typically the case, When and I don't blame anybody. I don't even really get upset about it. It's just par for the course. I like this group. I like what I've seen to this point. I think we've got a good mix of old with new. As I've said earlier, I think we're athletic. I think we've got some size. He does give us a real presence because of his length and athleticism, which allows us to do more things aggressively on the perimeter defensively.
And we'll hear more from Andy Kennedy coming up tonight. Also, we caught up with Andy Cannizzaro today. We will visit with him sometime later on in the week. We'll have our Student Athlete of the Week on Wednesday. We'll reveal our Game of the Week on Tuesday, have our top plays from Week 8 of high school football coming up tonight at 10. So plenty of football, plenty of basketball, plenty of baseball. If you like your sports, we'll have it here. I also want to mention Cubs just beat the Nationals 2-1 in Game 3 as they take a 2-1 series lead in the NLDS. So plenty to look forward to for baseball and just everywhere else in the world of sports. That is all we have for sports. Keith Gibson will have a last temperature forecast when we come back.
All right, here's our 7-day forecast. That's what it is. A chance for rain tomorrow, then some dry weather, and then warm again for this upcoming weekend. Fall, nowhere to be found this week, maybe next week, though.
They're having the Pumpkin Palooza Friday night in Starkville, so it'll be kind of a warm one.
It's going to be toasty.
All right, have a good night.